We've started looking at dinosaurs, and today we're going to do a guided drawing that it's going to show us and help us learn how to draw two different kinds of dinosaurs. We have the long neck dinosaur right here with that longer neck and his long tail. And then we have the stegosaurus on this side. And the stegosaurus has those armor on his back sticking up. So we're going to start with the stegosaurus. Alright, and I want you to just follow along with Miss Roselle's instructions. I'm going to do a step, and then I'm going to wait, and I want you to do that step. I want you to watch me first before you do your step. If you start drawing while I'm talking, then you're not going to know what to do and you're going to get lost. So make sure you watch, and then I'll say, now it's your turn. I want to see how this is going to work. If I do a step, now it's your turn, and then you do a step. Alright, and if you need help at any point, raise your hand and I will be walking around the room. Remember, if you start calling out, Miss Roselle, Miss Roselle, you'll be the last person I will help, and I will go talk to the quiet people first. So if you want me to come see you, I would keep quiet, raise your hand, and I will make sure you are one of the first people I see. So, to start with our stegosaurus, you can see he kind of has a curved shape back, and we're going to start with that curved shape. So, I like to think of it as kind of like a rainbow shape or a C. So if it helps you to make it like a C, you can turn your paper sideways and draw a C. I'm going to think of it as a rainbow and have my paper long ways and do the shape of a rainbow right in the middle of my page. And this kind of helps make his back. And I'm going to connect the bottom for his belly. And make sure we're not drawing super hard because we're going to be erasing some lines. That's just part of it. We're going to be erasing lines. But I've got my rainbow, or my C, and then I've got a line on the bottom. Your turn. Alright, so the next step is doing a head for this little stegosaurus. The head, he doesn't have a long neck, so he just has a little bitty head. So I'm going to, you can pick which side you want the head on. I'm going to have the head on this side. And the head is just a little, another C, and this is like a backwards C. And so I'm going to do my C shape. Bing! Can you see how that's a C if I turn it this way? It's a C right there. So I've got his head. You can even add eyes and a mouth. Your turn. The next step is his tail. So for the tail, it's just more of a V shape. So I'm going to do a V over here, starting on the bottom, right where his belly ends. I'm going to go out, and his is in a super long tail. And then once I go as far as I about can, I'm going to go up, and it kind of connects with the body. Once I've got these tails and heads, I'm going to erase the line, since it's all part of his body. Erased that line, and erased this line. Ooh, he's looking kind of slug-like. Okay, do that. Your turn. Alrighty. The next step, almost the last step, but not the last step, are the feet. Feet we think of as rectangle shapes. So I'm going to draw a rectangle, but I'm not going to draw the top. If you want to draw the top, it's kind of already there. You can do that. I'm just going to do the three sides of a rectangle. I'm going to do two of them, because this is just one side of him I'm seeing. And then he doesn't have super long legs. I'm erasing my lines. Sometimes it even, on Stegosauruses, they have this kind of like little C bump on their back leg. If you want to make their legs go up a little higher, you could. Okay, so I drew my rectangles and then I erased my lines. Your turn. The last step of Mr. Stegosaurus is the scales on his back. It goes all the way from over here to his tip of his tail. So I'm going to start by the head. And this is more C shapes. Man, all of these dinosaurs have a lot of C's, and it's just like a bumpy line. We've looked at bumpy lines before. A bumpy line is just a bunch of C shapes all connected together. I get bigger C's on the back, and then I'm going to the edge of the tail. I'm going to get smaller and smaller C's. Smaller and smaller and smaller. Oh. Alright, so I started, got bigger, and then got very small on the edge of the tail. They're about medium-sized over here. Your turn. And that leaves us being done with our stegosaurus. He's very happy. Yay, we're done. If you want to add any other details, you can. We're going to be adding color on these dinosaurs next time. And we're going to be getting started on our long-necked dinosaur. So, we are flipping our paper over. And it's time for the long-necked dinosaur. Remember, watch Miss Roselle. I'll say it's your turn, and then you get your pencil up, and then we get started, alright? But pencil stays down on the table while Miss Roselle is talking. Alright, so we're going to start with that same kind of shape. I'm going to start with a C and kind of connect it at the bottom for my dinosaur. My rainbow shape, same thing, and connect it on the bottom. Your turn. My next step is the head again. Now this head is a little bit different. This head is more of a long-necked head. So I'm going to be using kind of a wiggly line. You could make his neck really wiggly. I'm going to make it just go straight up. I started right over here, right on the edge. And I go up and over. I'm kind of making it look like a sock. Down, and I'm connecting it to the bottom. Just a curved line that goes up, and you give him a little bump on the top of his head. It's like a sock. And you erase the connector line. Alright, try out your head. And as you can guess, your tail's pretty similar. Now you could have your tail go straight out, but it wouldn't be a very long tail. So I'm going to have my tail go up and do the same thing, except it ends in a point. It's not all like soft like this one. It's not curved, it's got a point, so I end it like a V. It's the same kind of V, except my V's going up a little bit. If you wanted to do the same V like you did on the stegosaurus, that's okay too. That'd be a great tail as well. I'm also going to erase this line, and it's your turn to try that V tail with the pointy end. And the long-necked dinosaur only has one more step, and that's his feet. He has a little bit longer feet than my stegosaurus. Did my rectangle shape. Another rectangle shape. Erase my lines. I also want to draw my face. He's a happy dinosaur because he's done. Do your feet. Your turn. Now the last step that you could do on both of these is add more details. So I like to do what's called a horizon line in the background. I just draw a straight line all the way in the back, and that shows this is the ground, this is the sky. If you have extra time, we could have leaves in his mouth because he's a leaf eater. Have some trees. You can add other details today. But I want to make sure you're really happy. If you need to erase and try some areas again, you can do that. I could also add my little C shape on his back leg. See what other details you want to add. And this is a great start. Adding my horizon line. Ooh, it's a bumpy horizon line. Okay. See what else you can add if you wanted to add little friends. Or try to draw them again. Do that as well. Your turn. Try add more details. See what you can do.